Well, hi folks, seed potatoes have arrived now. Well, actually arrived 2 weeks ago, so I'm going to chit them now. People say, why do we chit them? What's the point in chitting them? Well, if you look at these are Sarpo mirrors, and they won't be going into the ground for, what are we now, middle of January, maybe up to the middle of April, definitely April. So they've got another 2 months, maybe 3 months to wait before they're planted. Now, if I was just to leave them in this bag, somewhere dark, then they would get absolutely ridiculously long sprouts appearing. Now, the thing is with Sarpos are, they are quite a dormant potato, so they don't actually sprout as quickly as some of the others. But any other sort of normal main crop potato, if you left them in a bag now, especially now that the seed companies seem to be sending out the seed potatoes really early, we've got like 2 or 3 months to wait before we actually plant them out. So, like I said, not only is it a way to get them going quicker, it's a way to actually preserve them, because if I left these somewhere cool, or even worse, even warm, in the dark, they would produce massive sprouts like this, like you see in some of the supermarkets or some of the garden centres when they've just been neglected, which are absolutely useless. So like I said, it does get them going because it produces little shoots, but also it can preserve them if you get them sent really early by just producing little tiny stubby sprouts on the potato, which will be ideal for growing and stop them just producing really long sprouts. So all I do to chip them is, I'm in the porch here, as you can see it's a bit dark, so it's quite a cool place, it's frost free. So what you want to do is have a look at your potato, and there'll be what they call the rose end, which is where you can see the little sprouts are starting to appear, like that, and you want to place those upright, and I'd use these little tray modules, like so, or you can use egg boxes, or just put them in a seed tray in some newspaper. And really the thing is, just like I said, with the rose end pointed upwards, just leave them in here, somewhere bright, but definitely not any frosts, and as cool as you can really, so just above freezing, but a nice bright place. And then in a few weeks it should start to produce little, very stubby little shoots, which are ideal, maybe about 1 inch long maximum when you get to plant them out. So that's the Sarpos. And sometimes, say for instance, well, these are my first earlies or second earlies, these are called Charlotte. These will sprout a lot quicker, if you can see. These didn't have a single sprout on 2 weeks ago, and I've done the thing I shouldn't do and left them. And as you can see, look, they're starting to sprout now, little white ones, and they're not what you want. You want them to be dark green, and that's purely because I've left them in the dark, and they're searching for the light, so there's nothing to photosynthesize, so they're just going to grow big, white, useless shoots, but they're fine now. They'll grow out and they'll be nice and green when they finally get to sprout in the daylight. So again, same thing even with the second earlies and first earlies. As you can see the sprouts, which end now, because they've started to sprout. So it's just a matter of putting them in upwards, and again, same thing, store them in a cool, bright place. And really, first earlies, some people plant them out in March time. I again, it's too cold up here, so I wait till April. I think I'll start some off in the greenhouse, or in pots indoors, maybe in February, because I can keep the frost off, keep them nice and warm, and they should fly away. So that's how we chip potatoes, and really the main reason why. It's not necessarily to give them a head start, although it does, but it's just basically to stop them producing these long spindly shoots if you just get your seed potatoes really early and you've nothing else to do with them, because the worst thing you can do is leave them in a cupboard in the dark, because they'll just produce long spindly shoots which will snap off when you plant them, and then you probably won't get a really good crop. So chitting, everyone's got different ideas about why you do it, but for me it's just basically to preserve the potatoes and stop them getting the big long sprouts. So that's it, nearly up and running again, a few spuds going in, starting to chit. See you later.